Oh yeah, flavor we have like mango chili lime and beet and ginger and salt and pepper. Something like a little bit non-traditional. We like that, and they loved it as well. And yeah, that's how it worked. Yeah.
That's really cool. And I'm glad you're focusing on the millennial as well as Gen Z generation who are more open to products that have a mission behind it or
Right.
certain help towards the environment and zero sustainability, zero waste. And then you have those kind of fun flavors. Can you talk about how you created the product itself? Did you guys like rent out a kitchen? Were you cooking it at home? Like what was that like?
That's a really fun journey. I can talk about that almost like 2 days.
Yeah.
No, but I can make it work. I can always show on that.
Take your
So
time.
yeah. So I started the prototype very beginning, and then when we launched and I shipped that to the professor, our teammates, as soon as right after I baked it, and then we got feedback. We saw the potential of our recipe. Our recipe was a very simple tortilla chip, and
Okay.
we also keep it as a very simple under our values. And we only have 4 or 5 ingredients, and it's just a basic tortilla chip making experience. But when we wanted to meet the more consumers, my home baking is very limited, right?
Yeah.
I cannot bake a whole day, and I cannot quit my job.
Still a job.
Right? No, no. So yeah, and then we wanted to have a kitchen and home the kitchen setup, which renting the kitchen, that those services. We couldn't find that in something. Those are renting service, kitchen renting services require some business license, which we don't have it.
Hmm.
So we ended up we found a couple of Airbnbs, and we rented Airbnb, and we
Ooh.
bake the chips together. Our one of the process like cooking process is making tortilla with the electric tortilla maker.
Yeah.
So, so we bought the two electric tortilla maker, and bought the really big baking sheet to bake, together. So those are really like operation, problem. You remember like a cookie shop. I mean the cookie baking problem. We learned it. We studied that part. So we also thought about how to optimize that and how to reduce our lead time, and we solved the problem together. And we made the large batches together with the team and at the Airbnb.
That's pretty cool. That is so fascinating. And then can you kind of go over your marketing? I think you guys had some of the best marketing like on Instagram and then just your packaging. I was wondering, can you like how did you kind of come up with these ideas? I know Aaron was a big part of the marketing side of things.
Yeah, Aaron in charge of that, and he posted all the Instagram, and I think our Instagram post is really interactive when we showed like people's experience, and then like compliments, and it's like really like show them like how people enjoy that. That's how we focused on. And packaging is like packaging wise, we really did very beginning. We created one package actually
Yeah.
here.
Oh
So,
wow. Can you show it again to the audience? That's pretty cool. I really like the
yeah,
design.
but I think one big thing that for the snack packaging, the sustainability perspective, this is not recyclable. And then we know that we researched it. There are a couple of opportunities that make a recyclable packaging, but that
Mhm.
requires some money. And I think that our next step in our business, we might want to find a good co-packer, and also we need to solve the packaging problem, which we would like to keep consistent in our themes on the sustainability aspect. So yeah, we'll work on it.
That's pretty cool. And then I was wondering if you could kind of like debunk this myth, right, about entrepreneurship. Do they teach you entrepreneurship, like how to build a product, all these great things? It teaches this in school, or is it just kind of figuring everything out on your own as you kind of progress through the whole journey?
No, I think the school gave us idea about like
Hmm.
how do you would feel this way, and then show me the many examples. And also in each class, like EDI or the business develop plan class, we have a like short set of how to exercise entrepreneurship. And they gave us some certain level of a foundation and a certain level of a confidence. We've done it before, similar. I know it's gonna be a real problem, but we can do it. And so, yeah, I think that schools gave a lot of opportunity. Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. I'm glad. I think the story of you kind of building a product outright, um, and just kind of bringing it to market, in such a short time frame. Because I think we had like around what 6, 7 months or so
Yeah,
to
yeah.
just yeah, to just kind of like build it out. That's very inspiring for those of who are people watch the podcast who do want to start a business, who do want to go to market, who do want to just kind of build something out. So I appreciate you sharing that story, and I appreciate you sharing your story of how you kind of went to school, became a product manager, and then your journey through UCSD, through UCLA. I think it's very motivating, very inspiring, and just an example of if you set your mind to something, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. So I appreciate you sharing that, Yuna. Um, we're coming towards the end of the podcast now, but I always like to end the podcast with like one last question, right? So if you could give yourself one piece of advice, looking back, what would that be? Whether it be your career, your life, or anything of that nature.
That's a really good question. I would like to say, don't worry about something that I cannot control. And yeah, emotional fluctuation drained sometimes a lot, which it wasn't really needed. But the moment maybe that's the only thing that you have, and then you feel so sad or so down and not wasn't motivated. But it's okay. It's not in your like under control. And so yeah, if I could go back, young myself, definitely like it's okay, and don't worry about it. Just focus on what you can do, what you can control.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Yuna. Yuna is like an amazing example of someone who you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. And then just someone who's just given back so much to the world. And from the bottom of my heart, Yuna, I just want to say thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you coming on the podcast. I think your story is going to inspire and help a lot of people who have come like your way or want to do what you're doing in your life and your career. So thank you so much for coming on board. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Angelo.
Of course.